Hey, Cub fans! Thanks for joining us here on Cubs 24/7, where Randy talks Cubs. And this is your weekend update for the week ending February 23rd of 2024. And we're going to start with the situation with the free agents. As of right now, we are literally starting spring training games today. And there's just a ton of free agents that are still available. So I went to the free agent tracker just to kind of get the latest and greatest. Here's what I've come up with. Here's the pictures that as of this afternoon were still showing as being available. Hyun Jin Ryu still available. Urias is available. Clevenger, Blake Snell, Jordan Montgomery, David Robertson, Zach Greinke, Michael Lorenzen, Rich Hill, Johnny Cueto, Jack Davis, former Cub Michael Fulmer is still available. So, and there's many more. And I don't know. I don't even know what to expect. But there's just a ton of major league arms that are still available. And as of right now, they're not signed with anybody. Let's do some of the hitters. Of course, Cody Bellinger is still available. Joey Votto, Evan Longoria, Matt Chapman, Brandon Crawford, A.J. Pollock, Gene Segura, Will Myers, Michael Brantley, Enrique Hernandez, professional hitter J.D. Martinez. I just can't believe he still is available. Brandon Belt, Eddie Rosario, Adam Duvall, Tommy Pham. There's just a bunch of them. So it's a very interesting time, at least in my mind. The Cubs have signed two veteran lefties, David Peralta and Dominic Smith. And both those guys are invitees. They're in spring training now. They're still waiting on Bellinger. It's just really interesting what's going on with them. And the Scott Boras, I'm calling him the Boras Five. Scott Boras is the agent who represents Bellinger along with Matt Chapman, J.D. Martinez, and pitchers Jordan Montgomery and Snell. So maybe when those things break, that'll loosen up the logjam a little bit. But there's still a lot of questions. I have questions about our Cubs. Are we done signing? Well, we just don't know. But just know there's still players out there, and there's probably going to be some moves. So, but that's where we are. All we can do is live in the moment. Today is the 23rd February. We kick off our opening game, spring training, and we're all excited about that. So let's go ahead and talk about some of the things that I got out of spring training this week. The first thing that I think is important is Craig Counsell has come out and stated that Christopher Morel is going to get a shot at third base. He just came out and said it. They're going to give him the reps at third base. He is, as of right now, in their mind, it's his to lose, and he's taking reps at third base. I'm wondering if that happens. Let's say Christopher Morel is our third baseman. That opens up a DH spot. So I'm wondering about Alexander Canario. So I've been following him, and I got some news on Canario as well. When Morel was asked about it, basically the question that was posed to him was, Christopher, how confident do you feel about your abilities to lock down this third base spot? And he looked right at him and said 100%. So Morel's confidence level is high. In the first infield practice with the Cubs, I thought it was interesting to see who they lined up. So this is the infield for the very first Cub infield practice in spring training. We had Christopher Morel and Nick Madrigal at third base. Dansby was alone at shortstop. We had Nico along with Miles Mastrobuoni at second. And at first base was Patrick Wisdom and Michael Busch. So that was the first Cub infield during infield practice this last week. Jordan Wicks has been named the starter for the opening game, and he has really looked well. In a lot of his live ABs, He's showing a lot of swing and miss ability, and his changeup, believe it or not, has gotten even better. Craig Counsell has become, already in the first week, he's done really well. There's a lot of things that are coming out of camp with some of the differences that Counsell brings. And one of the things that I saw this week that I thought was interesting is he's going to incorporate the bunt, or he wants PCA, Pete Crow Armstrong, to get the bunt in his game. And I actually saw Pete Crow Armstrong in a live AB session, and he laid down a bunt against Justin Steele. And so it was a really interesting matchup to watch. You know, speaking of these live ABs, I've been watching a lot of those, and I'm going to have something for us here very soon about that. But those live ABs are just, you know, our pitchers against our hitters. It's so much fun. It's riveting to me. And I'll watch the full set of them. And one of the things that I found interesting is it's like, who am I rooting for? I mean, it's really difficult. And I think, well, you know, the pitchers are going to win the majority of those competitions, obviously. But it's really interesting to watch the battle and sort of be torn. I want the pitchers to dominate, yes. I want the hitters to dominate, yes. But they both can't do it. And it's just sort of an interesting dichotomy that I don't experience very often, where I am literally split 50-50 when I watch a live AB session with one of our Cub pitchers against one of our Cub hitters. They're just so entertaining. Some of the things that I saw this week around that, I saw Yan Gomes hit a homer off of Julian Merriweather. Yan looked really good in that AB too. Another one of note was Brennan Davis. I've been watching a lot of his batting practice sessions, and he looked good. But in his live AB session against Hector Neris, he goes deep on Hector. And I'm just saying, I haven't seen Brennan Davis look that healthy in a very long time. Brennan Davis looks really good. I mentioned Alexander Canario, wondering if he's going to get some DH run with Morel at third base. I think it's quite possible. And I noted it in my mind when I was watching Canario at bat against Kyle Hendricks that he looked to me a lot like Jorge Soler, which I think is a pretty good thing. But Canario got Hendricks, took him deep in a live session. The most entertaining live AB session was when Shota and Seiya faced off. So I'm not exactly sure how they get the program, but they know ahead of time who they're going to be facing. And a pitcher will maybe throw 15, 20 pitches live, something like that. So Shota and Seiya were facing off, and I guess they talked about it before the session. And Shota had told Seiya that he would throw him only fastballs. So during the live AB, Shota threw him a breaker. And after it, he smiled. Well, he was asked about it afterwards, and I guess he did tell Seiya that he would throw him only fastballs. But once Seiya got up there and Shota saw his size and how formidable Seiya looked, it intimidated Shota a little bit. And Shota says, I wanted to win, so I lied. And he threw him a curveball. That's great stuff. Great story out of spring training with Shota and Seiya. There's a new rule that I wanted to pass along, and it has to do with the runner going from home to first base. So picture in your mind about halfway down. I'm not sure what the exact dimensions are, but you've got the foul line, and then it goes into the runner's box. Okay, so between that runner's box and the foul line, so the runner's box in foul territory, the foul line, and then you've got that space of dirt between the foul line and the grass in fair territory in the infield. Well, we were getting a lot of runners getting called out for drifting into that, but that's where the base is. And I always thought it was odd that if you're a runner, I can't run right toward the base. I have to run off to the right and then kind of veer in to get it. Well, that rule has been changed. Runners are now going to be, it's going to be legal for the runner to run in that lane extending all the way to the grass. So I think that's a good move. Spring training note, if you're going to spend some time in Mesa on March 12th, which is a Tuesday. It's going to be Ron Santo Hall of Fame induction ceremony. So just make sure you know about that if you want to go. It's March 7th, Tuesday, and you might want to get there early. Pete Crow Armstrong shows up at spring training with a new haircut. It's cut crew style, very short, and he dyed it cubby blue, and it's gotten all kinds of attention. In fact, a lot of people are talking about doing it. So the Smokies had a scenario where if they got so many likes on a post, they'd have one of their administrative people were going to do it as well. So it happened. So now the PCA cubby blue hair is taken off. It might be a thing. Kevin Alcantara's nickname is the Jaguar. And I think I may have mentioned that when I was telling you guys about the video where Luke Little is mic'd up at this event, and he called Kevin Alcantara the Jaguar. So I'm sure you might not have heard it, but it's in one of the videos that I just dropped pretty recently. But I wanted to bring it up because Kevin Alcantara is breaking in his new Jaguar print mitt, and guys, it is super cool. So we can look for that. Former Cub Eric Hosmer has announced his retirement. He's going to be starting a media company called Moonball Media. So congratulations to Eric Hosmer, great career, World Series champion and Gold Glover. So Eric Hosmer is officially retired. Adbert Alzolay, I want to say it correctly, has been very supportive with his teammates. And I don't know that I knew that for sure, but there's a lot of video of him he's chatting everybody up and really supporting them. And what it looks to me like Adbert is really in his mind, sort of taking over as a leader in that bullpen, which I really like. He had a tremendous bullpen session. Adbert looked really good. But watching him function, really taking a leadership role, and as part of that, he's just been very supportive of his teammates. So much so that they've given him a nickname, Moralzalai. And I thought that was really good too. Speaking of nicknames, here's one I think you might like. They're talking about the possibility of, the distinct possibility of Shota Imanaga getting a win and Adbert getting the save. So if that happens, a game where Adbert gets a save on a Shota win, that's going to be called a Showbert. I like it. I'm all in on Showbert. I'd like to have about 14 or 15 Showberts this year. Speaking of nicknames, our Keystone Connection, Nico and Dansby, have come up with their own. So the nickname that they have, now that's my understanding, they came up with it. They made the decision and they announced it. It's going to be Nickel and Dimes. So Nickel and Dimes, because they're money. I like that too. I got a piece that's unrelated to the Cubs, but I think it's so interesting I wanted to tell it. This happened last weekend. College baseball is kicked up. So there's this player called, his name is Matt Massiangelo, and he made his debut with the Sacramento State Hornets last weekend. They played a doubleheader on Saturday. Left-handed hitter, Matt Massiangelo. Guys, he got hit 7 times in that Saturday doubleheader. Hit by pitch 7 times. Got hit 3 times in game 1, 4 times in game 2. It's not done. In the late innings of game 2, they pinch hit Brett Ott for Matt Massiangelo. And don't you know that Brett Ott got hit 2 in the same spot of the lineup? It's not done. There's more. The next day on Sunday, in Matt Massiangelo's first at bat on Sunday, he got hit again. Matt Massiangelo got hit 8 out of 9 ABs that he got in the weekend of his debut of college baseball with Sacramento State Hornets. I checked his on-base percentage. It's really good. Guys, that's all I've got for the weekend update for this week. I am going to turn the page. We got live baseball coming up. I haven't decided what I'm going to do yet with game reactions and all of that. I'm just going to kind of see how things go. But I do have some profiles that I'm working on that are going to be up very soon. I've got one on prospect Cole Roederer that I need to get up. I need to do one on Joe Hudson as well because Joe Hudson is in the starting lineup today, and I don't have one. So I'll work on that and get that up for you very soon as well. So be looking for anything new. We'll do a weekend update next week as well. I'll keep tabs on it. I've got some surprises coming up too. I got some 2 or 3 really neat things that I'm working on, and if I can get them going, I'll be very excited. So make sure you hit that subscribe button and get your notifications. Here at Randy Talks Cubs on Cubs 24/7, there's a lot coming, and I'm very excited. I've never been more excited in my life. I'm going to be able to cover Cubs baseball, and we've got live games. There's going to be too much news to cover, and but that's okay. I'll try to give you the stuff that you want, the stuff that Cub fans want to know. That's my mission. If I'm interested in it when I hear it, if it's something I want to talk about, I feel very confident that it's something you will, because we are just Cub fans. So if one Cub fan is interested in it, I'm guessing the rest will be too. Again, thanks for joining us. Really appreciate it. We'll see you very soon. Go Cubs, go.